What up? I'm back. To you, there's been no gap, but to me, there's been a gap. Cause life is insane. Life is insane. Welcome back to Every Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Every Disney Movie Ever. Today I'm going to talk about Tron Legacy. Tron Legacy is a 2010 theatrical release. It's about Sam Flynn searching for his dad Kevin, and he ends up in the grid having to fight the tyrannical source that has become and quote-unquote save humanity. It is directed by Joseph Kosinski, cinematography by Claudio Miranda, editing by James Haygood, music by Daft Punk, and it's written by Edward Kitsis and Adam Horowitz. The film stars Jeff Bridges as Kevin Flynn / Clue, Garrett Hedlund as Sam Flynn, Olivia Wilde as Cora, and Bruce Boxleitner as Alan / Tron. This is obviously a sequel to the 1982 Tron, which was not extremely successful but garnered a cult following, so kind of the whole idea was they thought technology caught up with Lisberger's original idea, so they wanted to tackle a new Tron movie. Sean Bailey, the producer, had approached Kosinski to direct, and he said yes, and they approached Kitsis and Horowitz to write because they had been self-described as obsessed with Tron. They got together for like 2 days and really hammered out the plot, story beats, ideas, and really flew into it. They decided they wanted to get Kevin Flynn to kind of be this whole Bill Gates, Steve Jobs wrapped into one with like John Lennon Zen stuff, and they wanted Clue to be like the embodiment of the evil of your younger self, which is very interesting. And they got it all together, did all these story beats, described a ton of visuals in detail in the script, and took it to Lisberger, the original creator, to kind of run it by him to see what he'd think. They considered Wizard of Oz as sort of an inspiration with the whole like get home vibe, the whole like they have to get to the portal to get home. And then Jeff Bridges actually suggested they look at Buddhist teachings to kind of go with the whole inspiration for Flynn, and then they actually pulled a lot from Buddhist and Christianity. They, for Cora, kind of used Joan of Arc as an inspo, and then Kosinski really felt like his design background really helped him out with this because he was able to really help describe and create the backgrounds of the film, which I would say I agree with. They filmed in Vancouver for 67 days. 10 companies worked on the visual effects. Kosinski wanted it to feel real, so they built as much as they could. They shot in 3D and 2D. The light suits that all of the actors wear are real, and they were sewn in a way that you couldn't see any seams, because in the digital world there would be no need for zippers or buttons. Your clothes would just materialize. The discs were on a magnet, so like that was real as well. They filmed the crowd effects at Comic-Con, which I think is really funny. It took 10 companies, 2 years to create the visual effects, 1,565 shots, majority done by digital domain. Clue was completely computer generated. John Reardon was the body double, so Jeff Bridges would do it on set first, John Reardon would do it, and then the new head would be put on John Reardon. The Jeff Bridges they chose was from Against All Odds, because it had to be sometime after Tron 1, so they wanted like that kind of Jeff Bridges to be Clue. And then on set, Bridges said it's like the first Tron but for real. Which I think is super cute. Has a 51% Rotten Tomatoes consensus. Tron Legacy boasts dazzling visuals, but its human characters and story get lost amidst its state-of-the-art production design. Had a $170 million budget, made $400.1 million in the box office, which isn't terrible. Made more than what it took to make. It made twice what it took to make, is what I'm trying to say. It was nominated for Best Sound Editing, but lost. Alright, some other stuff. It has a theme park. It's had some theme park shows in the past. Tron, like Light Cycle, is a ride in both Shanghai and Magic Kingdom now. It's new in Magic Kingdom. It's near Space Mountain in Tomorrowland, which is very exciting. The grid appears in Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, as well as the pinball machine as well. Tron Uprising was a TV show, and it had a lot of major star power in that. And then we have, in 2015, they revealed they were going to do a sequel with Garrett Hedlund returning, and then it was canceled, and then later revealed it was canceled because of how poorly Tomorrowland performed in the box office, which I don't know why. That's so unrelated. In 2017, revealed it was given up on. It was not given up on, it was just in stasis. They revealed Jared Leto was attached to the project to portray a new character called Ares. In 2020, they confirmed it was actively being worked on, hoping Kosinski would return, but then confirmed Garth Davis was going to direct and Jesse Wugatow was to write. In 2022, Jared Leto confirmed it was still being worked on. In 2023, Joaquin Ronning replaced Davis as director, and in 2024, Disney's social media, like Instagram, released like a little teaser picture moment with a whole, like, it was a teaser saying Start Ares program. So there's that. Okay. Obviously the visuals are stunning. My word, gorgeous. Like, you know, OG Tron was really pushing the boundaries ahead of its time. This, with recreating Jeff Bridges, I really think it was trying to push its boundaries, and just how much they made it look like the first one, but not like the first one, and just like the little T guys that come down. Just, oh my god, the light cycles look so good. It all looked so good. The big thing is, I remember in theaters thinking how they made Jeff Bridges look young was so insane. I couldn't believe they did it. Like, so crazy. And now to think in 2024 when I'm watching it, I think it looks dated. I think Jeff Bridges' like younger self looks dated. They've done stuff since that is a little bit better, like with just Indiana Jones, how they made younger Harrison Ford. Still looks digitally reconstructed, but is better than what they did to Jeff Bridges in this, which is crazy because I remember being in theaters being shook to death that they made Jeff Bridges look younger and being so surprised. And just like, wow, technology is at its peak, like, you know, whatever, like, I can't believe they could do that. And now I'm like watching Harrison Ford younger and being like, I buy it, but it looks a little like digital. Like, what the heck? That's so crazy. But I mean, amazingly beautiful.
Hi, editing Jess just noticed the aspect ratio change when Sam is in the games, and only when he's in the games, and then it goes back to the 2:3:5 ratio. Insane. I didn't notice that while I was watching, but I noticed it while I was editing because I was like, wait a second. Insane.
This is kind of slow, if I'm honest. I remember really loving this in theaters and being so upset it wasn't received well because it was just fun. I'm now realizing I probably just didn't understand anything that was going on, and like just liked the visuals and the fun and the music and just all the stuff. This is pretty slowly paced. The first 40 minutes fly. They're really good, really solid. And then there's like a little bit of a zone where it really slows down. Like even the action sequences are kind of slow, and it's just like a little bit weird. And then you like get excited again because Kevin has come back to the grid, but like then I don't know, like it loses its footing, I feel like, and I think other things are to blame as well, but it does lose some pacing, I think. I think getting Daft Punk to do the music was probably the best thing they ever did for this movie. Like, I mean, it is perfect. It's so good. I was obsessed with this soundtrack. I listened to it all the time. And, like, it still is featured on a bunch of my playlists. But after I watched this, I started listening to just the soundtrack all the way through over and over again. Like, I did it during a workout. I did it while I was driving. It still is so excellent. Like, it's just good. Like, it's a good soundtrack. And I think it's the best part of the movie. So this is an interesting setup. It's really fun when Sam steals the OS and gets it out to the public. Clue hating users is interesting, you know, because he's searching for perfection and is like determined to make everything perfect, which I understand. I understand that that's Clue's programming, and that's like kind of how he turned not so great. There are 4 parent deaths in this movie. Kevin's parents have passed, and spoiler alert, Sam's parents passed. This could be better than it is. I think watching it as an adult, I even, like, Aubrey and my stepmom Ashley watched this with me, and as we were watching it, Aubrey goes, I don't think I understood this as a kid. And I was like, no, 100%. Like, I saw this as a teenager, And some of this definitely I was just not getting. Like, I watched it soon after that. Like, I own it, but I definitely haven't watched it all the way through in, like, easily 10 years. So, I definitely did not understand the story wholeheartedly when I saw it in theaters. And it could be better. Like, it could be better. It's pretty basic, so it's interesting. Like, you can follow it. It's entertaining. But it could be way better. They set up a lot of stuff. Like, Cora being an ISO, and, like, this whole ISO thing I was way more interested in. And, like, fighting Clue and taking over the, like, back over the grid. I don't know. It felt very much like it was setting up for a third movie, which could have been really interesting. But with this one, there was some basicness to it. And then I felt they didn't take advantage of some of the really cool stuff. Like, Kevin shows up to the grid, and it's like God showing up to the grid. He literally gets down and touches the ground, and it, like, takes out the lights and takes out a bunch of people. And that is so cool. And then he's, like, touching the elevator and programming that, and then he touches the, like, ship thing they're on and reprograms that. And it's like, he does it, like, 3 times, and then never again. And I'm like, freaking show me, like, a fight with him absolutely, like, wrecking people with just programming them and, like, reprogramming them. Like, it's so cool, and they barely use it, is my thing. I'm like, what the heck? And then, like, show me, like, Sam learning how to do that, because he's a user, so then he's able to do the same things his dad is doing. Like, that'd be so cool. But they, like, don't do anything. And then the fights we do have, some of them are really good. Like, the light cycle sequence, I think, is really cool. The sequence, like, the ship flying action sequence is, like, boring. Like, it's too long. And then I'm like, yeah, alright. Like, I'm done. Like, it's boring. I don't know. Like, there's just, like, some missing stuff. I feel like the story could have been more complicated, or at least handled more interesting parts. And it didn't. It fell a little flat for me. Favorite part, when Kevin shows up to the club and, like, shuts everything down, and, like, that is the sickest part. That's so good. I love that part so much. It's like the moment you've been waiting for. I think it pays off so well. My least favorite part is either Kevin sacrificing himself, but I get it, or just the pacing. Like, I don't know, or me being left with so many questions. Recommend, of course. I think it's very good. Watch again? Yeah, I'll definitely watch it again. I mean, I own it. Like, I love Tron and Tron Legacy, but I wish it were a little more. Specific moments. The music, I know I touched on it, but it's just so good. Garrett Hedlund, this put him on the map for me. I love him. Cora, I am left with so many questions. That's why I wish we got a sequel. Like, I'm left with nothing but questions. I want my questions answered, so I wish we had gotten a sequel to this. But no. Now we're getting a Tron movie with Jared Leto. Disney, read the room. No one likes Jared Leto. He sucks. And if you like Jared Leto, I'm not sorry. He's awful. Absolutely not. No way. That's everything I have for Tron Legacy. My final rating is 8. Let's do, discs or light cycles? I feel like light cycles. Well, the disc is so important though. Okay, let's do 8 discs out of 10. Our total movie count is. Our parent death toll is. Cry count is still the same. If you want to keep up with the movie watching when, follow me on Instagram or all socials. I put out videos every Monday and Friday and sometimes Wednesday. Join Patreon. I got a tier starting at just $1. You get every video a week early and a coupon code for merch and exclusive merch access. Tiers above that, you get daily trivia, monthly postcards, monthly, all that good stuff. Go check it out. Patreon's great. Buy merch. Merch is great. We stand. Until next time, comment, like, subscribe, but I'm not in charge of your life. You are, so do you, and don't be Clue about it, I guess. I'm an idiot. I'm not an idiot, I'm just being silly. Okay.